Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hola, come on in. Good morning, Kamara. Hello, Lizzie. We're going to get started. Kamara, did you like my thumbnail? We're going to play the Mimi song and then we're going to get right into it because we got a lot to cover. I want to show you. We're going to do Perez, Hilton, and then we're going to do AT2. And then I think I need to put him in the subject. AT2's live. So I will do that because I am taking credit for his work. Not taking credit for his work, but I am using his live that I want to show you guys. I probably won't show you the live I did yesterday. I may show you guys that. I don't know. Just depends. Okay, I'll be right back. Come on in. Have a seat. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, dictator. I was trying to figure out my day. How are you? I think what I'm going to do is do Perez, and then I'm going to go into AT2, and then we're going to go into Meghan. We meet again. Give the speech. Hello. Hi. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, while we wait for more people, I'm going to get the Mimi song going. We're going to do the Motown. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. Oh, 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 yeah. The Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Ooh. The Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. Oh, 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 oh. There's a Mimi out there. The Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. Oh, oh, yeah. All right. Let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. Go to Perez first.
The Diddy trial began today with a bang. Can you imagine being a jury member and sitting through all of this? There's more. Yeah. Let's get into this. Hello, my friend. It is Perez.
Did we see that yesterday? I feel like we did.
The Diddy trial began today with a bang, figuratively, but it was explosive. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. First up today was, again, that special agent who led the siege of Diddy's Star Island mansion in Miami. The jury was shown evidence, photos of the siege, including pictures of 18 high heels. He liked his partners to wear them, or maybe he did as well, like to wear them. And there was also an S to the E to the X toy seized, and the jury was shown a picture of that today. A Gucci bag was also found in his closet that contained an assortment of pills, white powder, a crystal rock-like substance, a plastic straw, a $100 bill, and other items, Special Agent Gerard Gannon testified. The powder and residue tested positive for the coca and the K. Additionally, various tablets tested positive for the M to the D to the M to the A, Male. Other tablets tested positive for Xanax.
Hello, Dictator.
Other tablets tested positive for Xanax.
Oh. Hi. Oh, so I'm just sorting out my telly.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Great, thank you. You get some good rest?
I did.
Good. I did too. Well, we are talking to Perez right now. He's telling us.
I love Perez.
Yeah, I do too. He's telling us there's another bang up, shocking day today. So we'll see what he's got going on.
Let's prepare ourselves.
Yes, trigger warning. I put rated R.
Jeez.
Okay, I want to start at the beginning again because I want to hear what he's saying.
Trial began today with a bang, figuratively, but it was explosive.
Explosive.
Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. First up today was, again, that special agent who led the siege of Diddy's Star Island mansion in Miami. The jury was shown evidence, photos of the siege, including pictures of 18 high heels. He liked his partners to wear them, or maybe he did as well, like to wear them. And there was also an S to the E to the X toy seized, and the jury was shown a picture of that today.
Wow.
A Gucci bag was also found in his closet that contained an assortment of pills, white powder, a crystal rock-like substance, a plastic straw, a $100 bill, and other items. Special Agent Gerard Gannon testified. The powder and residue tested positive for the coca and the K. Additionally, various tablets tested positive for the M to the D to the M to the A, Male. Other tablets tested positive for Xanax. Some tested positive for K. Others tested positive for methamphetamine. Jesus. Diddy went hard.
Yeah, a
Some
lot
of the Molly pills were stamped with a Tesla symbol. Another bag was discovered full of pills that tested positive for magic mushrooms. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
And Diddy's in his 50s.
How they're alive, I don't know.
I understand being, in your 20s, maybe in your 30s, and being a hard partier.
That's a lot. And then
I know.
Are you mixing that too?
Exactly. And the alcohol, I don't even know how they're alive, and they're not like brain damaged or something.
Right. Some mental stuff going on. It probably is. Some fried substance.
I can just about drink a bottle of wine and I'm hungover for 2 days. I don't know how they do it.
Me too. Easily. Ooh, all kinds of stuff. Pick what you want. Well, what kind of mood am I in?
Exactly.
I want to feel good, and I want to be in the know. That would be extra.
Cater to every party. Cater to everything, whatever mood you're in. Uppers, downers, lefters, righters. Jeez.
Just a mess.
But this is on a whole other level. Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin, were in court today after missing several days earlier this week. Diddy's sons heard today that authorities also seized some nitrous oxide from his Star Island mansion in Miami, as well as a lot of the green devil's lettuce. Additionally, the court was informed that Kid Cudi would not be testifying today due to scheduling issues. No word on when we will hear from Cassie's ex. He is expected to take the stand. And Cudi is expected to be a key witness in getting Diddy convicted of racketeering.
Really?
That charge was basically, he's a crime boss and had an organized operation and used fear and intimidation and violence to get his ways.
Wow.
Special Agent Gannon said that investigators recovered 25 bottles of baby oil and 31 bottles of lube just from the bedroom closet.
Wow.
As I mentioned yesterday, the special agent testified that they recovered parts of an AR-15 in his closet. Today, he added that they also seized a pew-pew from Diddy's guest house. This one was a hand pew-pew. Rhymes with gum. Additionally, they found a magazine with ammo inside a bag. We finished with the special agent, then a psychologist, Dawn Hughes, board-certified clinical and forensic psychologist, took the stand. I'm not that interested in what she had to say. She was testifying as a blind expert, meaning she hasn't interviewed Diddy or any of the witnesses in the case.
How can she be impartial?
And yes, Hughes was paid $6,000 for today to testify.
They gave her
Hughes said she was there.
$6,000 to do it, and
that woman, she testified in the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial,
Oh,
and she's done quite a few, and she was so bad in every single one. I don't know why they keep bringing her back. She's pointless.
wow.
She was testifying about how abuse victims work. Well, sure, we all understand that, but it's irrelevant.
Exactly.
He's not charged with domestic abuse. He's charged with a lot more serious crimes.
Exactly.
Do with it. She's just at that point. That's just wasting court's time. We want to get to the juicy bit.
Right. Good point. And then she hasn't talked to Diddy. She doesn't know.
No. She's probably not talked to Diddy or Cassie.
Right.
But what she's talking about is not relevant to the case.
Wow. Interesting.
To provide the jury with information on DV and traumatic stress. And yes, some of you might recognize Dawn Hughes. She has testified in other very high-profile cases before. Make that money, honey. Then things took an unexpected turn.
Ooh.
Another one of Diddy's former assistants, George Kaplan, was threatening to plead the fifth when he got up on the witness stand today, meaning, I'm not going to self-incriminate, say very little. However, prosecutors offered to grant him immunity if he answered their questions, but warned that this protection does not cover perjury. After George Kaplan's attorney reviewed the legal document, the judge executed Kaplan's immunity, and he is on track to testify. According to Cassie's testimony last week, George Kaplan, whom we should be hearing from shortly, quit after witnessing Diddy physically abuse her.
Oh.
So his testimony is expected to be very, very important. Somebody who will not be taking the stand at the Diddy trial is Ash Armand. Some of you might remember him from the TV show Gigolos on Showtime.
Oh, wow.
The reality star was paid by Diddy to get freaky at a freak-off with him and Cassie. The reason he won't be taking the witness stand is because he's currently busy behind bars, doing time for schmurder.
Wow.
Murder.
Judge Subramanian was in a very playful mood today, joking with jurors about playing music, elevator music, during sidebars, because there were quite a few today. The defense and prosecution was arguing over testimony, what should be admitted, what should not be admitted. They were arguing over evidence, what should be admitted, what should not be admitted. When the lawyers converse at sidebar with the judge, white noise is loudly played over the speakers, so the jurors and others in the courtroom can't hear the conversations.
Okay.
Also joining Diddy's sons today in court was his publicist, Holly Baird. If you were a publicist, would you take dirty money from disgusting Diddy? I guess if I needed the money that badly. Seems like Holly Baird from The Source PR needs the money that badly. Also, I checked, and little Miss Molly, Holly Baird, has her IG set to private. She doesn't want your feedback on her representing Diddy.
Oh.
Meanwhile, outside the court, there have been people wearing free puff t-shirts. We have learned that those folks outside the courtroom have been paid to wear those t-shirts.
Oh.
Desperate.
I was going to ask because they're being paid to wear these outfits. So they're not really for free and Diddy.
No, they're just being paid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just fake supporters. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it. Well, they need the money, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And how is his money dirty?
But he's well, because of what he's charged with, you know, transportation. He's got his money through illegitimate means, illegitimate ways, illegal ways. Sorry, not illegitimate. He's got his money through illegal ways, so it's dirty money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you're a crime boss and you've been charged with racketeering, you've got your money through ill-gotten gains.
Wow. They have to prove that, right?
Yeah, they do.
And George Kaplan has yet to take the stand, Diddy's former assistant. It is possible that he might not start his testimony until tomorrow, seeing as there currently aren't that many minutes left in the court day. The judge likes to wrap things up daily by 3 p.m. Eastern, approximately. But as soon as the former assistant hits the stand, I will be back to tell you what he shares and covering this case better than everyone else because, my fam, I am Perez. You are watching the Queen of all.
I like when he does.
I like him.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Okay, this is his last video for today. Chris Brown freed from UK prison with strings. They let him go.
Yeah.
God, did we do this one?
As the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. Earlier, I shared with you 2 previous videos of everything we've learned in testimony today. We continued with Diddy's former assistant. There was an interrogation of Cassie's mother, and we left off with the Punisher. That's right, the escort tells all. Testifying in the federal trial where the disgraced music mogul is facing charges of trafficking, racketeering, and...
I don't either.
Sheree Hayes, the real name for the Punisher, revealed today that Cassie would follow the strict instructions of Diddy during these sessions. He noted that Cassie would often wince or sigh at Combs' instructions. He said there appeared to be frustration with the frequency of directions.
No.
He said he did not ever hear Cassie say no to a direction from Diddy, and that while he did not use any drugs or alcohol, he was offered the substances. The Punisher says that often their interactions were planned just a few hours in advance. Upon cross-examination, he was asked if he had developed any feelings for Cassie. He said no. No feelings, nor did he consider her a friend.
I remember this one.
They never spoke personally outside of their freak-offs. The Punisher reveals that his last interaction with Diddy and Cassie happened at a freak-off in 2015. Shockingly, condoms were used. Diddy put 2 on the couch and said, "I'm ready to see you F her."
Yeah, we saw.
However, the Punisher couldn't get hard enough to punish. The Punisher was worried that he wouldn't be used again because he didn't do the job he was there for, meaning he couldn't perform. And he was correct. That was the last time he saw them. During cross-examination, Hayes explained why the condoms on the couch threw him off. He told the jury they had not previously used condoms, and the Punisher had his own anxiety. Wah, wah. And up next, we had another witness, a very busy day, a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations, Gerard Gannon, based in Miami. He gave details about the raid on Diddy's Star Island mansion in March of last year. Damn, between 80 and 90 law enforcement agencies participated in the search of the house because of its size. Gannon testified that some agents were positioned on boats to potentially intercept anyone trying to leave the property via the direct water access. Whoa. The jury saw photos of items found in one of the closets in Diddy's master bedroom. The special agent testified they found high heels, sex toys, baby oil, lubricant, and lingerie in the closet. They also found upper and lower receivers of AR-15s, massive pew-pews. The federal agent said that some pew-pews seized from Diddy's Miami home had their serial numbers scratched off, making it more difficult for authorities to trace a weapon's history. Raids like this usually happen early in the morning, but the special agent revealed that his home was searched at 3 or 4 p.m. That's because Diddy and his family were scheduled to take a trip out of the country that day. Quote, "We thought it was best to wait until him and his family left." They used a tank to push open a gate to the home. However, the special agent described that as standard practice in interest of gaining quick access to the property. In addition to the parts of the AR-15, they also seized red dot optic plates, which helped the shooter be more accurate. Okay. I really want to know what kind of S to the E to the X toys they seized. Several magazines loaded with bullets were also seized. Gannon testified that the AR-15s recovered from Diddy's closet could have been used as fully automatic rifles at some point, but the safety selector level was set to semi-automatic when HSI recovered them. Typically, AR-15s manufactured as semi-automatic weapons don't have a full automatic indicator like this, Gannon said. I'm not a pew-pew person, but he was. And the judge dismissed the jury shortly after 3 p.m. Not bad. Tomorrow, we will hear more from Gerard Gannon, including cross-examination. Diddy's defense has previously argued that the government's response, the raid, was excessive in force. Diddy's mother and his sons did not appear in court today for the second day in a row. Good. Meanwhile, his ex, fashion stylist Lisa Hilton, who shares a grown son, Justin, with Diddy, took to social media about why she went to court last week. Misa explains, "Yes, I'm good, everyone. I'm on my healing journey." She was seen with a walker and her leg in, not a cast, but wrapped in a medical device. Diddy's ex says, "I'm good, everyone. I'm on my healing journey. When I suffered my injury, I had chosen to heal privately. But when my son said, 'Mommy, I need you,' I was right there for him, walker and all. I'm a mother first, for real. And I am my son's strength. And that's just what it is, plain and simple. Whoever doesn't understand that just simply isn't in alignment with me or anything that I'm about in life. I'm cool with that. I have a purpose-filled life that I live daily. I make impact. I'm not concerned with insecure people attempting to project their insecurities onto me ever. Let's start being real people who do real things."
Huh? I was going to say, who cares what the mother says?
I know.
Give her one of the juicy bits. Who cares what she's talking about?
Who gives a dang?
Don't let this app rule your life. I promise you, it's really not good for you. Every moment isn't a glamour moment. Your best highlight. Who cares? Whatever. It could be seen, Misa Hilton, that your presence in court was a cosign of Diddy. You're supporting not just your son, but this monster as well. Ew. Tomorrow, in addition to the special agent, we're going to hear from Dawn Hughes, a psychologist who specializes in S to the E to the X trauma. We're also going to hear from George Kaplan, another former assistant of Diddy's. And after Kaplan, tomorrow, hopefully, if not, then the day after, the prosecution told the court today that we will be hearing from Scott Mescudi. Scott Mescudi. It just clicked. Mescudi, Kid Cudi. That's right. Cassie's one-time fling is going to testify. Remember, Diddy had his car set on fire or blown up. We'll hear exactly what happened from Mescudi, Kid Cudi. Wow. Wonder what other celebrities are going to testify. That is it for today. Make sure you watch the 2 previous videos I shared with you all, and let's discuss everything in the comment section.
All right. Now, this one is new in the last video. Then we're going to move on to Meghan. No, one more video. We're going to do AT2, and then we're going to move on to Meghan. And I think we're going to watch one of her podcasts.
Okay.
Okay. Here it is. This is the last one.
Come here. We got more.
Hello, we're
Court
here.
did not wrap up today before we heard from one of Diddy's other former personal assistants, George Kaplan. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. The disgraced music mogul is in the 2nd week of his federal trial, where he is facing racketeering, trafficking, and charges. We've heard from many people, including one of his former assistants, as well as his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, Cassie's mother, a friend of Cassie's, and more. Just yesterday, we heard in great detail from one of the charges. We've heard from many people of his federal trial where he is facing racketeering, trafficking, and charges.
Okay.
We've heard from many people, including one of his former assistants, as well as his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, Cassie's mother, a friend of Cassie's, and more. Just yesterday, we heard in great detail from one of the escorts hired by Diddy and Cassie. If you missed that or anything, watch my videos. I have been covering this like Diddy covers the bed sheets in the hotel rooms. I've been doing this really well. This former assistant to take the stand is named George Kaplan. He was granted immunity by the prosecution, and like the other assistant that we heard from earlier this week, he too testified the crazy long hours that Diddy would make him work. George Kaplan says that a day would typically start around 9:30 a.m., and he would make sure the chef and housekeeping staff were ready for the day. Diddy's former personal assistant said he would also make sure that his bathroom was set up with his toiletries and medications.
Wow.
The earliest he could ever remember finishing a day was around 5 or 6 p.m., and the latest he ever remembered finishing was around 7 a.m.
Wow.
George said he typically worked 80 to 100 hours a week and was paid $125,000 a year.
Oh, that was.
He began working for Diddy in 2013. Remember that date, and remember that Cassie.
You're going to have to pay me overtime, buddy.
That's not even worth it. A job like that's not worth it.
That's not worth it.
Not worth it. You kill yourself doing a job like that.
Yeah. 100 and something for that.
No.
You have to be sitting in the office. Yeah, that wasn't no money. Well, he got gypped.
Just to make sure he had his breakfast and he's got his bloody medication.
Yeah,
Jesus, he's not a child.
Yeah.
He's not a child. He's a grown man. Oh.
And the rapper did not break up till 2018. Kaplan began as an executive assistant to the chief operating officer. About 10 months later, he was promoted to Diddy's executive assistant.
Oh.
He reported to Christina Karam, Diddy's former chief of staff, who basically ran his life.
Wow.
That's what he testified. In 2015, he upped his security, hiring a licensed security group, which was more professional and more polished than his former longtime security guards, and seemed to have a lot of real-time training, Kaplan said today. Kaplan testified that Diddy and he would exchange texts, calls, and emails multiple times a day about what he needed, which could include clothing or potentially food from somewhere, or drugs, or liquor, or an iPad, or a speaker.
Wow.
And that is why he was granted immunity, because he obtained substances for Diddy.
Substances.
Illegal.
There you
So
go.
what kind of a boss was he?
Wow.
Awful.
That's where he messed up at. Having his assistants
get illegal substances. That's what I'm saying about racketeering. He is employing people to perform illegal stuff. Oh, and they knew that it was illegal. And they agreed to do illegal things for him. That is your racketeering, for money. That is their job, to perform illegal duty.
They wasn't afraid of him. It wasn't like, oh, I'm scared if I don't get this for him, then he's going to beat me up type of thing.
No, they agreed to do it.
Right.
If you're scared, go. Just resign. Let me know. Don't. You still choose. You just resign. Leave.
Right.
You know, it's not like Cassie and the girls who are getting beaten. They can't leave. But if you're an assistant, resign and go. You don't have to do that.
Right. You got promoted.
Yeah. So there's your racketeering right there.
Jeez.
Kaplan says that Diddy would threaten to fire him almost monthly.
Oh, wow.
Combs would remark that he wanted to be surrounded by the best, and those around him at the time.
Oh, good gracious. He would get threatened to be fired every moment. Yeah, I'm going to fire you. Can you imagine?
So you're going to go out and commit a number of crimes because you're scared to get sacked. Oh, well, they're your own stupid fault then. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
If my boss said go out and commit a crime, I'd be like, no, I'm going to resign and I'm leaving right now. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm out.
It's your own fault if you're going to
Yeah.
do stupid things. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's that simple.
Yes.
And we're not performing at that level. Sometimes Diddy was angry and other times motivational, Kaplan testified.
Motivation.
During his first week working for Combs, he assigned Kaplan to find a 1-gallon BPA-free bottle at Whole Foods. The store didn't have it, so he brought back 2 half-gallon bottles instead. Combs angrily told him he did not bring him what he asked for.
Uh-oh.
He was very close to my face, Kaplan said, over water bottles. Like the other assistant that we heard from, Kaplan also testified that he would travel with Diddy and set up the hotel rooms just how he liked them. Kaplan told the jury that he went with Combs to various destinations, including New York, Miami, Atlanta, DC, and Orlando.
Traveling.
He would either fly on Diddy's private jet with him or in advance on a commercial flight to ensure that his lodgings were set up properly.
Wow.
Kaplan testified that the first time he was told to set up a hotel room for Diddy, he was given a bag and told to unpack it. The bag had clothes, a speaker, candles, liquor, baby oil, and Astroglide in it. I have lost track at how many witnesses have testified to baby oil.
Yeah.
It's Diddy on Trial with very special guest star, Baby Oil.
Yeah.
After that first time, he said that he would often buy the same supplies with his corporate credit card.
Oh.
He said Combs or Christina Coram, the former chief of staff, would usually instruct him to set up a hotel room. The rooms were usually reserved under the name Frank Black, which was a reference to the late rapper and Bad Boy Records artist Notorious B.I.G., whose nickname was Frank White. And yes, part of George Kaplan's job was also cleaning up after Diddy.
Oh.
Ew. He got all freaky at the freak off, and then you have to make sure to pick up the empty bottles of lube.
Oh, that was
no.
gross. Gross
No.
city. How much was he getting paid for this?
Just over 100.
Well, he got a raise. He moved up to the EA assistant. He was just a assistant.
That's not a lot of money.
No.
For that. No, it's not a lot of money.
Mm-mm. It's not enough.
Not
enough
cleaning
money.
all that.
Not
piss
cleaning
party.
that up. I would have hired a team. Y'all come on in here.
Yeah.
Clean this up for me and I'll give you some money.
Them piss parties, it's all urine and everything. Ugh.
Yeah. Scrubbing.
No.
Lube and baby oil and
Just
spooge
greasy stuff
all over the place.
Just a greasy mess.
For the STDs and herpes and
Yeah. That's the first time I heard that there was an STD because Cassie didn't mention it.
Well, this guy, he's supposed to be a witness, but I'll send you the link to where this guy says it. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But he says it in the video, and he got paid millions for it.
Wow.
Kaplan said he came to understand part of his role was protecting Diddy's image. Quote, protecting him and protecting his public image was very important, and that was something I was very keen on doing. Typically, there'd be Gatorade bottles, liquor bottles, and baby oil strewn around the hotel room after he left. On one occasion, he cleared up a brown crystallized powder off a countertop. Kaplan didn't know what it was, but he cleaned it up just in case. Kaplan testified about times he said he picked up drugs for Diddy. He said that Combs would always give him cash and a number to call, and then Kaplan would arrange to pick them up. He would pick up Molly and other substances.
Wow.
He wasn't sure what because he didn't have them tested. Diddy was also very specific with how he liked his toiletries set up. They had to be arranged in a specific way and all facing forward, of course.
They ain't facing forward.
The whole process would.
Are they?
No.
He's getting one roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, he doesn't have no soap. He's got no toiletries where he is now.
No toiletries.
And he's going to have to arrange them as he wants. He's going to have to arrange them himself.
Get some stuff on his books.
Jeez. How'd you like that now?
Yeah.
Got no toiletries now.
Jeez.
Would typically take George Kaplan about 30 minutes, he said. He testified that Diddy would travel with a bag that had tons of different medications in it, as well as drugs. Diddy also demanded candles, so he would travel with them and hotel rooms would be set up with them because lighting was very important. It would not surprise me if we're hearing later on in the trial from Christina Coram, his former chief of staff. She probably is working on a plea deal right now with prosecutors.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that was all that we got from George Kaplan today.
That's that one lady that set up she was over all the assistants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so she could do time, couldn't she?
She could. They all could, because they've all implicated themselves. So they would have done a plea deal. If I testify in court, don't come after me. So this is why they're all testifying in court, so that they don't get dragged into it all. They've done a plea deal.
Prosecutors will pick back up with him tomorrow morning. Then defense will get their turn. And court learned that a total of 5 witnesses will be called tomorrow. We're going to have a very busy day, y'all. In addition to Kaplan, we're going to hear from Kid Cudi. A big update. Cudi was tentatively scheduled to show up today, but now we've learned instead of today, he will be there tomorrow. And who the other 3 witnesses are, we don't know yet, but I will let you know as soon as we know, and I will tell you everything that is worthy of knowing from the Diddy trial, because I am your friend, Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. So, George Kaplan, short but eventful. Let's discuss everything that we learned in the comment section. And until I see you again, thank you for your support.
Okay. Seems like the trial is moving on as planned.
Yeah. Here we go. We're getting down and dirty now.
Yep. Everybody's story sounding the same.
Yeah.
Okay, this is AT2. I want to do. Okay, where? That's day 1. Let me see videos. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it.
The guys right here. So we have Jonathan Odie, which we already knew about.
Okay, let me set the scene. These are all the guys. Oops.
You set the scene.
These are all the guys that he set up for Cassie. He's going to name them. So let's watch.
So the first one, Jonathan Odie, that's the one I was telling you about.
Now, that had rabies, the R.
Rabies, herpes.
Herpes.
Rabies.
That's a dog.
That's a dog thing. So and he went crazy, and he went into Trump Tower and started shooting the place up. Yeah. So that's him, the first one.
And he came out and he was. Should we look up his testimony?
What, the one that the behavior panel did? Or we can look up his testimony.
When he was in jail confessing.
Yeah.
How do you spell his? Do you know how to spell his name? Kid.
Jonathan. Jonathan O-D-D-I. Jonathan O-D.
Okay, there he is.
Do interrogation.
Oh, here it is, right here. Interrogation of Trump dual shooting. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the list. Wow, so that's him.
Yeah.
He looks better on here.
Here we go.
This is AT2's channel. I am using his content, and please check him out. He's a great YouTuber. Let me hit the like button since I'm here.
So these are the guys right here. So we have Jonathan Odie, which we already knew about. We have Ash. And what I was shocked by, it's not just all black guys. And I know they did say that. It's not all black guys, but black guys was his specialty. But it's a lot of different people. I guess you just needed a big cock because we all know Diddy likes big, veiny cocks. That's all you needed to have. It didn't matter about the race, but most of them are black. So again, Jonathan Odie, Ash, we got Brian, we got unidentified. We don't know who that is, but unidentified right here, the black dude with the bald head, that looks like Mandingo Warrior. That looks like something that Diddy would like. Next, we have Tony. Then we have Greg.
All these guys are nice looking.
Then at the bottom, we have Jake.
He's got good taste.
Then we have Johnny. Why did Johnny look like somebody familiar? Johnny looks like somebody.
He does. He like this actor.
Then we have Jules. Then the black ball guy, he's unidentified. They don't know who he is. Then at the bottom, there's another unidentified. And then at the bottom next to him, the redhead, or maybe that's blonde, unidentified.
And then
there's another unidentified right here.
God, there's a lot in there.
Yes.
Now, I don't know where the Daniel guy is. Remember they had like a Daniel, I believe his name is, testify. They don't have a picture of him up here.
14 and 15.
So I don't know if these are all of the sex workers or just the ones that they were able to find or the ones that were willing to come forward. So yeah, I don't know.
Like he said, these are the ones that were willing to come forward, or these are the ones that we know of, but there could be more.
Oh, and that's just the men. There was women as well.
Really?
Yeah, because that's when he used to have all these parties. These are the freak offs, the freak offs, but he used to have these white parties where all the celebrities to go.
Right.
And then he
had women too.
Yeah, they used to have all the big parties there.
Not with Cassie though.
Well, I'm sure the bigger, wider sex parties, should have girls as well.
Oh.
They're sex parties. They're all doing it with each other. Everybody's doing it with each other.
Right. Everybody's going. I don't know why I did that. That's quite a bit of men.
Yeah, that's not nice.
So that's interesting.
It is interesting.
I need better pics of these men to Yeah, it said it in the lawsuit. In the Cassie lawsuit, he specifically wanted black guys
Veiny.
with
Big
big
and
cocks.
veiny. He likes
Now,
it
the
big
whole
and
point
veiny.
about the whole part.
Oh, can't.
Oh my
That was something I didn't want in my head today. An image I didn't want in my head today.
Oh my God. This is so rated R. Next thing you know, girl, we gonna be in the room.
Oh,
I had a visual.
that's horrible.
Ooh, he was picky.
He was. He had a type, didn't he? He had a type.
Yes,
It's all just a bit nasty. It really is.
yeah. Oh yeah.
About the veiny thing, yeah, I make that up. I added on the veiny part. I admit that I added on the veiny.
He
but
made that
wanted
up.
Black guys with large cocks. That is in the lawsuit.
He made the veiny up.
He did. He was joking.
I'm big in. We'll go call Diddy. Like, how did Jonathan Elliott get chosen? What's the real criteria? I think just the sausage is the criteria area. You just need a sausage, but
that
he preferred black guys. I'm gonna have to find the original lawsuit. And that's why, remember, he liked white fingernails because he liked the way the hands looked on the sausage. Remember that part now, just about the white fingernails? That's why he liked the white fingernails. I've been trying to figure out the psychology of Diddy wanting to do that. He's just a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miriam, the contrast. Yeah. The contrast.
Oh, so much detail. I just couldn't be bothered.
Listen,
I know.
imagine being in a relationship
That's
with
a
somebody
lot.
and you're able to tell them your freakiest fantasy and they're willing to fulfill it. That's basically what it is. Now, Sexy Sassy, Just B didn't even say anything about you right now. She's talking about the psychology of Diddy.
Good night, Lizzie.
This to merch, right? If I'm hiring Cherokee and Pinky for high school memories, oh Lord, she's definitely a co-conspirator. And just, Cassie mentioned that she did feel bad for the sex workers. Part of me thinks he's really is bi and just afraid to get in with. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think in a way, Diddy has always been curious. And I feel like this was the gateway into him opening up like what he really likes. Because there's no way in hell, even if you are quote unquote a swinger and you like watching other people have sex, right? If you want another man's cum on you, oh shit. Put your kids to bed. Put your kids to bed right now. 30 seconds. Put the kids to bed.
Kids to bed.
Kids to bed. Kids to bed. Kids to bed. Put on the bed.
Night night. I thought that was funny.
That's the thing. Why would you want another man stuck on you?
Yeah.
Oh, how is that even a remote turn on?
Yes. How is that?
No.
Do your own and just imagine it.
Exactly. It's not hygienic. It's dirty.
If you want another man's stuff on you, right? you have to be attracted, and to particularly want a certain kind of man. Not that, oh, just get anybody and I just want to see you get fucked. But I'm requesting a certain kind of man, and I want you to dress up, and we're gonna act out a scene of
A
you
whole
being at an
play.
airport. Remember that, being at an airport and all this other stuff.
Really?
You have to be attracted. There's no way that he's pleasuring himself in the corner and he's not liking what he sees.
Oh no, he's got it all planned out.
Yeah, he does.
Naturally, if you see people having sex, oh, we going deep. If you see people having sex and you like what you see, you're going to be aroused. That's just the truth. I feel like this was a gateway of him opening up. And because remember, Cassie to the guys weren't gay guys, by the way.
No.
But again, that probably was for security as well, too, because let's be honest. If they were messing with gay guys, they probably would snitch or try to tell people and all this other stuff, you know? So he dealt with straight men because they would have something to lose if they ever said anything, you know, their sexuality would be questioned. And listen, it goes very deep into why did he like what he liked, and is he biased?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot.
It's some kind of deep psychology. I don't know. I'm only giving you an assumption. I really don't know, but that's what I can see. Like, it could be for security that they got these sex workers, they paid them. Remember, he was taking photographs of IDs and stuff like that.
Wow.
As in blackmailing insurance to make sure that they didn't tell anybody. Like, he went that extra mile. And let's be honest, if you're if somebody's going to pay you a lot of money or more money than you would make in a night being a regular stripper, and all you got to do is shut your mouth and keep it quiet, you're going to shut your mouth and keep it quiet.
Yeah. They can come back for more. Yeah.
Yep. You're just going to go along with it.
All he wants to do is sit in the corner. And then don't forget, he wasn't always just in the corner. Sometimes he was in the other room because she would have to run in the other room and, you know, do whatever she had to do with the juices or whatever, right? Yeah. So again,
what juices?
Oh, and if you couldn't perform, you didn't get paid. Don't forget that too.
What was she running for?
Because she had to they used to ejaculate and she used to have to run in the other room and rub it all over him.
Yeah.
The man juice.
Yeah, she had to do all. Oh God.
You didn't perform, you didn't get paid.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot to it. Now I know that there's a victim number 3, the Jane Doe, that hasn't been identified. But I just wonder, was Cassie his first time? I honestly don't feel like Cassie was his first.
Yeah, I don't either.
Put a 1 in the chat. Do you feel like Cassie was his first?
Hell no.
Hold on. Now, I try to be nice, but I'm not going to deal with disrespect in the chat. No disrespect in the chat.
I think Kim Porter went to hell and back as well.
What was it?
Right.
1, you feel like Cassie was his first? 2?
Exactly.
No. Diddy should have he didn't want people to know, though. That's the thing. He didn't want people to know. Now, probably he should have started his own adult entertainment business.
Yes.
Maybe he should have did that.
Maybe he still would have been illegal.
Probably would have been better.
You think?
Yeah. Well, it still would have been illegal because it's prostitution, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it was his first. I definitely don't. Like Snoop, yeah, remember Snoop did, right? Yeah, Cassie definitely wasn't his first. We know Cassie wasn't his last, but I don't think Cassie was his first. Like, because her being young, where did she kind of see that like, oh, we're gonna have a freak off or something called the King's? What was the second name for the freak off, you guys? It was like King's Night.
It was another
what
name.
Was the other name for the freak offs? Does anybody know in the chat?
I don't know.
I don't either. He's very short. I mean, like, it's not too much longer.
Oh, he still would need to be true. Wild King Night. That don't sound like something a woman would say. We're gonna have a Wild King Night. I can't picture a woman saying this.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound
like
right.
Something a man would say. A Wild King Night. Are we gonna have Freak Off Night? Are we gonna have a Freak Off?
That one sounds, more legit.
I've heard of a Freaknik, but I've never heard of a Freak Off or a Wild King Night. Yeah, Wild King Night. That doesn't sound like something a woman would say. Like, where do you even come up with that name?
Right.
I know somebody in here was saying that they believe that Diddy was probably like molested. If that is his story, then that's his story. But where do you get having a Wild King Night and a freak off? And this is just, listen. In some of those documentaries, they claim that his mom would have these lavish parties and, they would be doing adult activities at these parties and the kids were in the other room. So that's possibly where he's seen it.
Wow.
But I don't want to say that he was or anything like that.
Part of
I don't know that for a fact. Now, people say that, Clive Davis.
Yeah, a lot of people said he was, though, Em'd.
Was he?
Well, that's what one of his school friends said, that because of these sex parties, he was Em'd for it in them.
Oh,
does
wow.
not give him an excuse for what he has done.
Like they were there and something happened to him.
Yeah. Because this came from somewhere.
Yeah. And when he was arrested, found lights, drugs, cash, baby oil, he was going out with a bang. Right. He was still doing them.
He was going to do one before they picked him up.
He was, y'all, we at the hour mark. I'm getting the hell up out of here. This is too much. Too much. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. This stuff is always hard to talk about, like no matter what. It
is.
Just coming from so many different angles, and I appreciate everybody being respectful. The person who wasn't being respectful, they already got blocked, so don't even worry about it. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. Love every single one of y'all. Please be safe out there. Love one another. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about this. Make sure you guys check out some of the other videos that I did. I did one where Lonnie Love talked about her side of the story. I wanted to re-upload that so you guys could see that. But I love y'all. Oh, what's up, Bama girl? I love y'all. Be safe. Love one another, but we out. Deuces, everybody. I need to get my ass in the gym.
All right. So we are done with that. We're moving on to Meghan. Any questions about the Diddy? Hello, Joy. I was just tripping on how many men it was when I first saw that video.
Yeah. Do you want to go to Jonathan Odie quickly or not?
Yes. Forgot about him.
It's
yeah, I think I got him right here. Let's look at it together. Let's see which one we should do.
Because he says he's got rabies. We'll use the rabies word and not the H word.
So we'll go. Let's see.
So in May of 2018, a man named Jonathan Odie opened fire at Donald Trump's Miami golf course and was shot and arrested by police. Now, Odie said that he was in the middle of a bipolar episode. So where it gets interesting. Later, while being questioned by Florida authorities, Odie brought up something totally unexpected. He claimed that he'd been a sex slave for Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. This video is courtesy of Real World Media. Take
Look at him.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
Wow.
So at the time, Odie's story seemed too far-fetched to believe, but not anymore. And now, in an exclusive interview, Odie opens up to News Nation senior producer Allison Weiner about his claims, beginning with why he's agreed to talk now. Listen to this.
Look at this.
I felt bad because I got along well with her, and I think she's a decent person. And unfortunately, I had a suspicion that she was in a situation that she was in, but I wasn't sure. And now I understand what was going on in her life and what was happening. And him beating her up in the hotel shows me the type of individual he is, and confirms that everything that happened to me was true and correct and in line with his personality.
So speaking to us from a Miami jail now, here is how Odie says it all began for him.
I was a male chicken jail, a model chicken jail, you could say. And they called me for a show they called me from the agency that I work for to do a show. And then I went to the show, and things led to them offering me more money to perform sexual acts. And that's it. That's how I basically got started. I get dressed like a police officer at the show, and they'll strip down. And then, they offer me some more money. They offer me more money.
So Odie did get specific about the extra stuff that he says Diddy wanted from him, and these specifics were consistent with what he told law enforcement during the 2014 interrogation. Here is how he describes the atmosphere and how frequently it happened.
Candles, sensual atmosphere, lights off. He would sit in a corner in a sofa, watch and masturbate.
Wow.
He tell her, give instructions what to do to me. Perform oral sex, rub baby oil. Then he tell me rub baby oil, perform oral sex, and then have sex.
How many times did you have sex with Cassie?
Probably like 15 sessions.
Wow.
And what did you get paid? How much?
It would be like 800 each time.
That ain't enough money.
No, it's not really.
I would leave, and then 3 hours later, they would call me, come back.
I would have said, no, man, at least.
And so Odie claimed that the sessions were drug-fueled, and that his concern for both Cassie and himself led him to get one of their sessions on video. Listen to what he says about that.
Uh-oh.
Why did you decide to record for video?
Because after she passed out, I decided to record that. So in the event anything worse happened,
She passed out.
died,
Yeah, she passed out.
or anybody died, it will be on camera, it will be on video, what happened. So I wouldn't be responsible for any of that.
So you were beginning to worry about her doing drugs. I mean, like about her dying or him dying or somebody dying from the drugs.
Oh,
and
wow.
that you would be held responsible. So you brought a video. You brought your phone?
No, I had a USB video memory stick done like a spy shot, and I put it in the water on the table, in the living room table of the hotel upstairs. I just filmed it, and had everything on scribe.
Wow.
It had her threatening me, but he was telling her what to say. We had an argument, but I left.
She would pass out.
I knew they were paranoid.
Yeah.
I knew
How
they were
much
paranoid.
drugs?
So
Wow. First of all, he didn't get paid nothing.
Jesus, that's just not worth it.
No, it's not. Like, it's just so, and he's sitting in the corner watching like a perv. So she would pass out from the
From the drugs, yeah. And then God knows what happened to her after that.
Exactly.
It's so awful.
Wow.
I want to guarantee my safety. So I just him and said, hey, if anything happens to me, I got evidence I've been with you. At the settlement table, there was a lot of irregularities, okay? It was my first settlement. So they brought me in, and Diddy had a t-shirt with two men in ski masks pointing, making gun signs, okay? And it was black and white, and it had a red frame, okay? But that's the way he operates. He communicates, threatening you, like saying, I'm going to have you killed.
Wow.
Jeez.
So Odie says to prevent the recording from going public, that's what he was just talking about, Diddy had him sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, in exchange for $5 million in hush money. This was in 2014. The Daily Mail ran a screenshot of what appears to be a signature page signed by Sean Combs and Odie. We have not been able to obtain the document or verify its contents or authenticity, nor have we been able to verify the existence of the video that you heard him talking about. Now, according to Daily Mail's report, the timing coincided with a spending spree by Odie of Florida real estate, and it also coincided with Odie's divorce. His ex-wife tells the Daily Mail that she found out about his windfall only after their split.
Basically, the day the incidents happened at Trump's National Doral, I had to take medication, and I didn't diagnose bipolar, but I wasn't sure it was bipolar, and I had an episode, and basically, I've been taking medication every day. I've been stable. I had no issues in jail. I've had incident behavior in jail, yeah, I'm feeling ready to come out to society and be a productive member of society.
All right, so Odie remains locked up in a Florida jail, still awaiting trial on charges of attempted murder, armed burglary, aggravated assault, and armed grand theft. Regarding the sex slave claims, we've reached out to Sean Diddy Combs' team for comment and have yet to hear back. And thank you to Allison Weiner for that interview. We'll continue to investigate all of that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact.
He snapped.
He snapped. I bet there must be a bit of traumatizing going to one of those parties, and
very much so.
Even though, like, they're sex workers, they probably do it every day. At some point, you're going to be traumatized by it. It's not nice.
It's not. That ain't normal, and so
no,
it's not. Your brain is off kilter.
Exactly, and if you're watching other people be beaten and sex with multiple men, and they're so drugged up they don't know what they're doing, and they're being taken effectively hard, because if they don't know what they're doing, they can't consent to it.
Right.
So ultimately they're being hard, and it must be traumatizing.
Yes. It does. The deeper we go, the crazier it gets.
Yeah. And then if you do manage to get hold of the whole interview of that interrogation, he says he got rabies from.
Yeah. I think
from them.
Have it. I think it's 30 something minutes.
That thing goes crazy.
He was in there shooting.
That's him.
Oh, what an idiot. Did he fall?
It looks like a comedy sketch.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. This is not funny.
It does. It looks like a comedy sketch.
Yeah, like he fell and the gun was still going off.
Yeah. Or type in Jonathan Odie and like type in the name HPs and see if it brings it up then. In search, Google search.
Here it is.
He's a Hamas supporter. Okay.
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter. Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The
Boule.
Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist.
Okay.
Okay, you're my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was she took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean. Okay. He's Donald Trump. Okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group. Okay, of individuals which run the whole country. All right.
All right.
Basically, what I did you talk about, did you explain about the message? Or
Please. Elaborate.
On Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence. I took the American flag from the front desk, and I blew the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay. Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying. Okay, keep going.
It ain't like that. The CIA, and then they want to do the same thing that they did to JFK. Okay.
All right.
Why? Because they want the United States to fall. They've already been creating a state of chaos and confusion in the United States. They want the United States to fall. Donald was against their agenda. And satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. in the group, and they bond that way. Okay, so they do sexual pedophilia, they do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Okay,
right.
The Bohemian Grove, the Bushes go there. George C. and George, both of them are in the same agenda. They cousins with the Clintons. Okay, so is Donald Trump. He's also a distant cousin. So if you go ahead. Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule make it open to our eyes, but we really don't see it. We're so busy working.
It's kind of like hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist.
Okay.
You're my brother, so I like black people.
You've ended up at the beginning
mom,
again.
I was raised by
I
a
think he's
African
repeating
woman in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
She was just a servant, but she was my took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean. Okay. And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land on the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5. Okay. When I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything. Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them that's what I was. That's all. All right. I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued for herpes and won. But they did. Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys. Okay. And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible, I'm not sure. Now,
He got it.
Did you see it when he says he got it?
Okay. The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark
It's
Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see it when he said he caught it?
No, you just heard it?
Just go back a little bit.
Okay.
And
Watch
Christopher
the
Neal's here
words.
was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was
Look
the
back a
video
little bit
recording, and I
further.
did so.
Brother, okay.
They gave
Tiny little bit.
okay? When I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay?
Watch his
I don't
words.
have it, but I 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business.
Watch
Because
the
what they
words.
would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and
Any second now.
speaking and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I see
There it
herpes
is.
one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he says he got a settlement from Sean.
Oh, and that's why he went back.
Yeah.
But they did Mark Eros and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Neal's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible I threw everything out. It's possible I can produce a copy.
Wow, that is so ironic. He went through something. I think he went in there shooting because of that incident, those 15 times that he was with her. He said 15 to 18, I think.
Yeah.
Hello, Clarissa. Wow. Okay. Enough of Diddy and his freak off.
All a bit nasty.
His allness. We're gonna move on to. We'll be back with him on this mood board is stupid.
It is. Who does that? Only 50.
It's so veiny.
What even a mood board is.
Why can't you guys see?
Are we going to listen to one of her nightmare podcasts?
Yeah. Look at this. It's so me.
Yeah. And only Archie was on there, baby, not Lily.
That was Archie?
With Harry there. Where's your mouse?
Oh, right here. Okay.
Yeah.
And like she said, they got 3D set up. This is an old.
Yeah. No 3D details on it.
Yeah. I didn't get 3D. I think you got to go to places to get 3D.
I think they're quite expensive.
Yeah. I don't think it's like norm, like it's something you do outside of the norm. Because they didn't have it when I went. Let's get to Limonado.
Okay. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hey guys in the chat, hold on. We're going to listen to Limonado, okay? Look how she is the face of Limonado. Is this their only thing that they have? Is her? There's no menu? Oh, here it is. Here's some more. Oh, God, it's not very many at all. And she's on the cover. All right. We're going to do the fig. We started this yesterday.
Their focus that got them to where they are today.
No time to get down, 'cause I'm moving up. No time to get
Lifetime, you are the first person there with a mop.
I'm chasing mail trucks. I'm sitting in hospitals. I'm selling out of hospitals. That's how we sold. I sat there and I sold right in front of a hospital, in front of an ER at 7 in the morning and 7 at night.
Heather Hasson turned that hustle into something so much bigger. She built Figs alongside her co-founder, Trina Spear, and together they turned healthcare apparel into a billion-dollar business. They created scrubs that are stylish, colorful, comfortable, and they're made with their customers top of mind.
She wants to be a billionaire so bad. It hurts.
Well, she's not going to be, that's for sure.
No, unfortunately, you wasn't born to be that.
You know brand. And once you see
She
it,
doesn't actually sell something in the first place. She hasn't sold anything.
Yeah. Because she could have been.
can't unsee it. They're everywhere. I can't wait for you to hear this conversation with Heather. Let's dive in. How we doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Really good. I'm so happy to meet you. When I had met Trina at
You don't even
G9,
know these
she may have mentioned it to you. I don't know. She was very surprised when I knew what Figs was. She said, I have a company called Figs. I said, I know Figs. She goes, do you actually? It was almost like a test.
How do you know? Yeah, Megan, how do you know Figs?
God, well, you guys have been around for a while.
Yeah.
But anytime that you see somebody either for, I think it transcends beyond hospital.
I'm sorry.
She didn't answer the question because how do you know Figs? How do you know Figs? And she couldn't answer the question.
Exactly. Like, you know, how'd you know? Like,
give us a bit of history. She couldn't do it. She doesn't know anything about her guests. She just makes it up.
She doesn't. And she needs to do her research.
Exactly. It's just basic common decency if you're interviewing someone to know what they do.
Exactly.
Hospitals in someone's home, they have on Figs uniform.
Oh, this is when she starts talking about she was working at the LA
hospital,
Children's Hospital. And I looked it up yesterday and it said she was there for a like you said, a conference or something like that. An event.
Yeah. I don't think she went inside. I think she just posed outside and went
work with.
Yeah, that's it. With the girl hand in her hand.
Yeah, in her vagina.
Yeah.
Children's Hospital LA. And I see a lot of the people wearing that. And you just saw that something shifted from when I was young and you'd be in any sort of medical setting and you saw very ill-fitting scrubs that were probably not comfortable to things are looking a little more tailored. And I remember going, wow, that looks so different. And just knowing it and clocking it and seeing the little Figs logo on there. So I just know your brand.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you know who we are. Honestly, like I think what you've created is so amazing. I was just watching your show the other day too.
Ah, thank you.
Because I'm a terrible cook. I can't cook anything, but I'll bring you lemonade or something like in the juice world. I can do that.
Great.
But you can teach me something probably.
Yes, you'll have to come to the garden and we'll like whip something up. It's very easy. I think the whole point for me, and you'll probably speak to this too, is when you see something that is an easy solve in the everyday, that's not complicated, it's not fussy. How do you get your hands involved and change the way of thinking surrounding it so it doesn't feel daunting? You know, I see vegetables and I see takeout because I don't have time to cook every day. And I go, all right, but how do I still make this flattering and beautiful and present well and something that people find appetizing? And for you go, hold on, this is something that you're doing every day. You're wearing this uniform every day. You're eating every day. How do we elevate that in a way that you feel really good about what you're doing and you feel proud about what you're wearing and you're able to have some functionality with it? In some ways, they're actually a different version of the same thing.
No, I totally agree. I think, when you take something that's so simple in your everyday life and you elevate it and you make it elegant. I think that's what makes it so special. I mean, that's what even like Andy Warhol did, right? In terms of like commercialization with, the Campbell soup.
Yes.
He took something so simple that you see every single day, but he elevated it, right? He made it into art, and now it's like, I don't know, $50 million on your wall. But
Yes.
yeah, in terms of figs, that's exactly, what we did over 13 years ago, is we took something that was like a commodity and like decommoditized it.
Yes. And also that it wasn't necessarily what you had been planning to do. You were in medical school, then you had to pivot to fashion and a handbag line, which is already in and of itself really fascinating. How does that happen?
Well, I think so. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a surgeon.
Okay. And what attracted you to that?
I just thought I would be really good at it because I'm so precise and I pay attention to detail. And I just thought that I would be an incredible surgeon. But when I was in school, I did poorly. I mean, obviously, organic chemistry is impossible. Anatomy was my favorite course. And I just didn't do well. I got all D's. Like, I just didn't do well. So I said, okay, you know what? I guess this is not going to be my career path. I'm just not going to be a doctor. So I gave up. And when I graduated University of Wisconsin, I started my first company. I don't even think I was that employable even at the time. Like, I just didn't think I was like an employable person. Like, I tried really hard, but I don't know. I don't know why.
But how were you able to start your own company? How could you invest in yourself even then?
I didn't have any money. I didn't come from money. So I didn't really, I mean, in the sense of I had like 3 jobs. I raised some capital. I was 21. And then I started my bag company.
Back up. For the people who are listening going, I'm 21. What do you mean you raised capital? How do you raise capital?
Honestly, it was at the time, I didn't even know what VC was. I wasn't really in tune with anything with finance, like zero. I think it was just kind of innate. I just went to friends, family, people I didn't even know. I was in New York at the time, asked around, and then met some folks, and they gave me a little bit of cash, and I took that little bit of cash and I, started this tiny company, moved to Italy, and then it didn't do very well. The bags are beautiful. They were gorgeous.
What kind of bags were they?
They were like just giant handbags. They were big, oversized handbags. Beautiful.
And by the way, if you were so drawn to precision and the dissection of something, the manufacturing of a very detailed bag or piece of clothing has that same level of almost surgical precision if you're talking about the craftsmanship of it.
Yeah. Exactly. And I was like, well, at least if I can't, be in surgery, at least I can do this.
Right.
But then it was actually I had a business.
Being a surgeon ain't got nothing to do with making a bag.
Bag. What kind of bag was it? It's a handbag.
A heart bag?
Okay. It's a handbag. A big oversized handbag. There you go. That's what it is. Jeez.
It's kind of surgical though. Idiot.
Honestly.
Business partner at the time, and he passed away from lung cancer.
Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I was super young and he was a little older, and he was a wonderful human. And after that, I just folded the company and went straight to Kenya. So I was just going there because my business partner passed away. I was in the hospital for a really long time with him.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
That is awful.
Hello, Dale.
Hey, you woke me up. What are we talking about?
I sent you a message. I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hey, Dale.
You got the notification?
Hey, Dictator. Yeah.
You're on mute, Dale.
Fun?
No, you're good. We are listening to Confessions of a Female Founder.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so dumb.
It is. She's talking about making handbags is just like being a surgeon. She's a dumb diddy dumb.
Well, give me a second. I'll wake up and get some water.
All right, lovely.
Chat on.
And, I just needed a break. And so then I went over to Kenya, and then I started going to these clinics, and I saw everybody not wearing scrubs. And I'm like, what's going on? How come nobody's wearing scrubs? This one nurse, she was a nurse for 25 years, never had a set of scrubs. The surgeon didn't have a set of scrubs. So then I came back to Los Angeles, and I'm like, you know what? Let me donate some scrubs. Let me just give some scrubs to the people that I met out there. They've never had a set of scrubs before. And so I manufactured 10 and sent them out.
So you didn't just go and buy them. You manufactured 10 sets of scrubs.
Yeah, I just made literally 10 sets of scrubs in Los Angeles. They weren't stylish or anything. I just, put them together, hired a tailor because I can't sew. A terrible sewer.
I can sew, but not well. Enough to mend something.
No, sewing's tough. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's so funny. I went to college. I was a theater major, and part of the program was you couldn't just do the acting. You had to do soup to nuts, every part of what a production would entail, which I actually think is incredible training for when you're running a team, because you appreciate what the sound person does and what the lighting person does. But wardrobe department and sewing was part of it too.
So good.
So I am comfortable with a sewing machine, but no, I couldn't sew 10 sets of scrubs without a pattern, I don't think.
Right? It's hard.
No, it's hard. It's okay. So you enlist someone to go and do that, and you say, I'm going to make these 10, I'm going to send them over.
Yeah. And so the feedback from the surgeons, the nurses, they were just like, I can't believe you did this. We've never felt like we were on, part of a team before. And that's when the idea of Figs came about. I started to sit in hospitals, like you can go, and I just had a cup of coffee and I would watch, almost like a method actor, right?
Okay, so wait. So this moment where you send the 10 out, at the onset, it's just, you see a need, you want to fulfill it for them. But because of their reaction, you realize, I want to dig deeper into this. And that's what makes you go and sit in hospitals and observe what's happening there in terms of their uniforms.
Yeah, it was how important it was to them, that uniform. And I was like, oh my God, wow, that is incredible. I mean, I did also make uniforms for children as well when I was in Africa, before even the scrubs, to put kids in school. So uniforms is I think been part of my DNA. And when I was even in pre-med, I wore these huge, massive scrubs, right? I'm over a cadaver, and I'm tying I had a belt on top of it because, they gave us extra large scrubs. It was like a one size fits all.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, in my mind, I just thought the smartest people in the entire world, if there's not a company that supports them, we are all going to die. We're all going to die. In the sense of, not because they don't have scrubs, but because we need to make them feel great, right?
Yes.
We need to make them
care for the people that are caring for us.
That's right. So we could have better patient outcomes, right?
It's really interesting that becomes the catalyst for you. I love that, because it's emotional, not economic.
Oh, I'm not even driven by that. And I should be a little bit more. But when I started Figs, right, I think, when I was sitting in hospitals and understanding the landscape of uniforms, right, of scrubs, and I'm sat there for hours and days and months just studying what they were wearing and why they were wearing it. Then before I actually did go into this, I'm like, okay, what's the landscape look like? Because I'm just not going to go into something where it's if hospitals buy your scrubs for you. But then I realized it was direct to consumer. So nurses and doctors, right, all healthcare professionals, they were purchasing their own scrubs.
Wow.
So then I'm like, okay, if they're buying their own scrubs, why are they buying scrubs?
Right.
They need to make, right? It's like, okay, if they're spending money out of their own pocket, right, their hard-earned money, let's give them something that's better than anything that's out there.
For sure.
So that was how it all started. And I met Trina.
Because she'd been on Wall Street, right? She still does more of the op side and the business side. And you're more of the creative, I would guess.
And then she started doing brain surgery.
Creative. I think she undersells herself, but she is very, very, very creative. She's my best buddy and a real fantastic business partner. It's because we come from two totally different places in the world that we see things very differently, and we always have very healthy conversations. But she's way more dynamic than the business person, the ops person, because she is very creative. And I would say that probably the same thing for myself, because when you are running a company at that scale, you have to be both.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have to be. You can't just be like, okay, I'm going to do the numbers or I'm going to do this, right? You have to be able to do everything.
Well, especially at a startup phase, you're wearing so many hats. You have to think about the customer experience. You have to think about your P&L. You have to think about what your long-term trajectory is. I don't know if as you guys were conceiving this, and even, to my understanding, when you met, it wasn't with the intention of bringing on a business partner. You met, you knew she was savvy, and then within a couple of weeks, you guys realized you should be partners and do this together. How did that happen?
Oh, she's relentless. I was like, she was, this came from Blackstone Private Equity, Harvard Business School, right?
Yeah.
And she said to me, and I'll never ever forget this. She said to me, she goes, Heather, I will do everything you don't want to do. And I said, everything? And she goes, everything.
Wow.
And I said, we were playing tennis and we shook hands and
Meghan can do
that was
that.
it. I said, let's go.
Wow. And you believed her. You knew it was true.
Yeah, I knew it was true. And I thought it was really cool that she was, quitting this high-paying job on Wall Street, coming to work on Scrubs.
We're all missing her correlation. Ziggy Lee, chick with the crown. Yeah, especially the sergeant with the bag.
Is she in a show or something? Was it called Scrubs?
Missing her correlation. We're missing the whole point of the show. Never mind a correlation.
Yeah, of every show that we've watched.
It's like listening to Meghan talk. Like she's trying to talk like she's a business founder, like she knows what she's talking about.
Right.
But it just comes across like it's word salad. Like she's trying to force that she knows what she's talking about when she really doesn't.
Exactly.
She just uses big words that don't actually mean anything.
No. Economic.
Exactly.
Yeah, This
is another one who I was a surgeon, then I wasn't a surgeon, then I did handbags like a surgeon, then I stopped doing that and I did something else. And we're like, you just get lost. Where are we? What's she doing there?
What does she do?
I don't know.
She
This
does
is not
surgical
gonna work
scrubs,
out.
like uniforms.
Yeah, I think Confessions of a Female Founder is going down and down fast.
It's gone down. It's at the bottom, out of the charts.
This is just it's horrible. It's boring. She's boring.
They don't really say anything.
The only interested part was the girl. Like her story is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is.
From Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, and how she got started. She was going to go to medical school, but decided no.
No, she said at the beginning. How did you hear about figs? Meghan doesn't even answer the question because she's not even interested.
No. That's right.
Fig.
What a name.
What does this woman do, this other woman?
She makes clothes for scrubs for doctors and nurses.
Where?
At hospitals.
In America or in Africa?
I think in America. Yeah, because she went to the University of Wisconsin.
That doesn't ring true. Most hospitals have their scrubs. Oh, does she do brain surgery? When does she do the brain surgery? When does Meghan do her brain surgery? That mean they obviously both do brain surgery.
We've
But they're
not
not
got that
making.
far yet. That's about 5 minutes time. We'll get to that bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's when they're both sharing their operations and the success of bringing people back to life. Well, they also do resuscitation and bring people back from the dead. Yeah, I got to hear it in their voice. That's incredibly intellectual.
Yeah.
We'll go through their qualifications every 5 minutes. Their next qualifications.
So dumb. They sound like two 12-year-olds talking about what they can do.
Right.
How old Meghan is? 12.
It's not
trying to outdo each other.
Exactly. It's not inspirational at all. Doesn't make me want to run out and be an entrepreneur.
Oh. Meghan can sew.
Yeah, that's what she said.
She said she can sew. Imagine her on a sewing machine. She can't even cut up fruit.
Right.
Admittedly, that's what Prince Harry told Prince Charles. She can make her own clothes.
Yeah. Can you imagine what they'd look like?
Yeah.
She could sew a sack together.
It can't be worse than what she wears already. She can't even iron. We know she can't iron.
Making those clothes.
I think she made those pants she was wearing. I don't think they were brand name, but I think she made them out of an old sack she found out in the barn. Everybody is really making such a fool out of her.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Nerve? She is great. She was on with Kinsey
Oh, I
Scott.
like her. Maureen Callahan, yeah, she's great.
Yeah, Maureen Callahan. She is great. She doesn't pull any punches. She was on with Kinsey Schofield for an hour last night. Did you see that? The two of them together are brilliant.
It was good. Yeah, it was good.
I missed it.
That was great, yeah. They just snap. They tell each other things the other one doesn't know. It's great. Yeah, I love Maureen. At first I didn't think she was going to be very good because she sounded very nervous and hesitant the first episode, but now she's just firing on all cylinders.
She got it together.
She's got thousands of subscribers. It's terrific. She's as good as what she is. She's Meghan Kelly's best friend, so they're both.
Oh, her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said something recently.
Pardon?
She said something recently.
No,
she was on
no.
Kinsey Schofield last night, and they were hilarious last night.
They were talking about Meghan.
Yeah.
No, Kinsey Schofield and Maureen Callahan. They were last night, and they were.
Oh wow.
They were talking about Meghan, Letitia. They were.
Not that much.
No, all the time. Almost the whole episode. 15 minutes.
They were talking about her.
Yeah. Shredding her.
Wow, we should watch that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Forget this podcast. Like, we're all bored, and we're not even after.
I almost fell asleep.
It's like torture now.
Well, she said, I think Maureen said she got through 30 seconds. She can't stand listening to her voice. She had her earpods in, and then the sound of Meghan's voice made her feel sick, and she had to rip them out and put it on speaker. She hates her that, or she finds her that repulsive. I mean, the things they're saying about her on some of the shows, it's just wow. I don't know.
It's really like, even if she doesn't have on her comments, let me tell you, girlfriend, you are being ran down to the ground.
Yeah. Well, she's coming across really dumb.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know what's going on.
Was it on Kelly's show?
Kinsey Schofield.
Oh, Kinsley.
Yeah.
It was on Kinsey's show. She was a guest.
Oh, I thought I saw that earlier. Okay.
Lizzie, nobody's saying she's not accomplished. For sure, she's accomplished. We're just saying that the podcast is boring.
Right. No, she's accomplished.
She's done fantastically well for herself. It's just the podcast is boring.
Didn't she come from money, though? Wasn't she set up by her parents?
No, she said she didn't.
Yeah, she did it herself.
Yeah, she did it herself.
Here it is.
That's great how you can play these tapes and we can talk about them. It's terrific.
Where did it go?
Have you heard how Paula is?
No, I did send her a text.
She sounded really good last night. So I think she was on with, I think, P. Donna, and she sounded terrific, and she's all firing on all cylinders again, happy. And I thought maybe she's had some good news.
Yeah.
Because she's been very down.
She's on the Atwood channel today, but I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it later on.
Oh, good.
Oh, she is?
She was on today, but she was on while you're on, so I'll watch that one later on.
Okay. Dan Wooden.
No, Sean Atwood. She was on Sean Atwood today, talking about P. Diddy.
Atwood. Sean Atwood. Oh.
Yeah, she's just talking about the Diddy trial and stuff. I was just saying she was on there. But are we watching Kinsey Schofield?
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
are.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run to see her on was it today?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Are they still on live?
No, not
What was
now.
it, an hour ago?
No, she's not on there now.
So she was there earlier.
I think she was on there earlier.
Okay. Oh, there she is with Ron.
Oh, you're doing the Atwood now.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the chat? Do you believe him? Because don't forget that Gwyneth Paltrow was born privileged.
She's overwhelmed.
No, you guys lied to me. Charles Kale, you all lied to me. I went like an idiot to try and get a hearing aid. They look like a Martian can see it from space. You lied to me.
No. That's
I
some
much rather go through life shouting and screaming than getting a hearing aid because
Okay, sorry. Let me get back. To Kinsley Schofield. Where was I? Okay, let me get here. Go back. Go back.
If you hear any noise, I'm making coffee, trying to wake up. It's it's 1:30 in the morning here.
What time is it?
Pardon?
What time is it?
1:30 a.m.
Oh gosh.
Oh wow.
I was asleep.
Hi, all. Welcome to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Maureen Callahan, host of The Nerve with Maureen
Is she
Callahan.
going too
What's
fast?
coming up this week? I have to tell you really quickly. I saw
That's it.
today. I have to finish watching it. You go into like BS celebrity beauty, hacks or lies. How quickly I put thorough body after Gwyneth Paltrow posted about it over the weekend on in my cart. It was shocking. So I'm hoping you're not going to tell me that Gwyneth Paltrow is lying about the thorough body.
Actually, I leave Gwyneth alone in this segment, but I do take Gwyneth to task at the top of the show, and I take her celeb spawn out to the woodshed at the end of the show with a scandal throwing. And the hot beverage that allegedly found itself smacking an assistant in the body, in the face, I don't know where. So there are two bullies who are desperate to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's somebody, you are a sick individual if that's how you get your kicks. Will be like, oh wow, isn't she so clever on social media? Like, isn't she so funny? And then it came out that she was bullying a young starlet named Courtney Stodden, both on the open internet and then sliding into her DMs and saying, you should kill yourself. Okay, I don't know the exact wording, but she was saying you should go kill yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody,
She
you are
hasn't
a
been arrested. I don't know.
sick individual if that's how you get your kicks. Okay, so Chrissy Teigen, I think, is human garbage. She's garbage.
She is garbage.
And Meghan Markle,
Garbage.
who someone just emailed me and was reminding me to reread the Australian coverage of Harry and Meghan's official royal tour in Australia and the hissy fits she was throwing, and the hot beverage that allegedly found itself smacking an assistant in the body, in the face, I don't know where. So there are two bullies who are desperate to be considered America's best friend among a cohort of females who they believe are easily influenced to purchase the garbage. They're garbage.
Yeah. When it comes to Meghan and Harry, I feel like, because I might have put it in our show notes, I probably did, but the idea that they're polling the worst they've ever polled. I'm sure that there are some sort of crisis management meetings that happen regularly where they try to determine how to change public perception. I mean, in the last few years, the joke has always been like, another rebrand for Meghan, another rebrand for Harry and Meghan, another rebrand. But I wonder if one of the reasons that people just refuse to change course on their thoughts about Harry and Meghan, aside from the fact that
they hate them and they're probably right for it, is because they don't, their actions don't follow their words. You are just campaigning in New York to keep children off of social media. You were just campaigning to protect children on social media, children that have been so bullied that they take their own lives. And then you go and elevate this person elevate, Meghan's favorite word, by putting them, you're giving this person credibility by putting them on your show. You're endorsing this person by putting them on your show. And like you just pointed out, this is the same person that bullied a child, a 16-year-old kid, who now says that they were groomed. You're endorsing them by having them standing next to you on your show. Your actions don't match your words.
Well, this has been Meghan's problem since day one. And we all see her grasping for anything that will sort of reinforce this notion that she is welcomed among fellow famous people. You know, there's this idea that I think that she holds, which is so completely immature and sad, frankly, that like, well, if somebody's famous, they must be a great person to know. I mean, I can point to any number of examples where it's actually the exact opposite. And people who often get to that level of fame have left a lot of bodies in their wake. You know, there's a ruthlessness that comes with that. That is not appealing. And it's all we see with her right now. I mean, again, with every sort of law, like, first of all, my question is, you know, she announced, oh, we're renewed for season 2, right? That's not a renewal. Like, they shot the whole thing at once and then they chopped it up and, you know, they got to burn off the rest of it in the fall. But is she shooting additional episodes? Because this Chrissy Teigen announcement feels very like breaking news, right? Like, why wasn't she included in the initial rollout? Like, if she had Chrissy, why not front load her in the beginning? Because the only other real name Meghan had, was Mindy Kaling.
I think that those are the only 2 names she had in this whole thing other than Prince Harry. And Prince Harry apparently is not seen at all in season 2, which I don't think is going to bode well, because there are people like me that now have no reason to watch it. You know, I told you the last time this came out, I was instructed to watch 3 episodes to react to Prince Harry's presence or mention in those episodes. I don't even think I'll be able to tolerate season 2, round 2, without any Prince Harry. And that is your only currency.
It is her only currency. And I just don't know what she's doing, because in anticipation of coming on to talk to you, I did listen to a little bit of the latest podcast.
Oh my God. You and I both, I was about to jump out the window.
Okay, Kinsey, I started off with my earbuds in, and within 2 minutes, I was like, I cannot physically have her voice this close, like in my ear canal. I have to remove the earbuds and put it on speaker and move it a little bit away. This is how like revolting I find her.
Yeah,
you know, and she's talking a bunch of garbage to some woman who founded a makeup line, a woman who, by the way, comes from enough money that she says to her mother, I know you're saving up for all of our weddings. So this woman's put aside like $100K for each kid. You know, she comes from money, give me my money so I can have my seed money. But she's talking about bootstrapping and like struggling and spare me. Okay.
Yeah, both of them are like that though. Like, both of them are not, you know, eating out of a dumpster because are not able to pay their rent because they're so emotionally invested in these brands. Meghan Markle is in the position she's in because of the man she married. Yeah, you're talking about Kitsch founder Cassandra Thurswell. I secretly love the fact that they have sent me a bunch of free swag, because I'm like, and oh, you were friends with Meghan and I'm getting free swag. Clearly you don't know what my day job is.
No kidding.
But it says, speaking to her guests, because Meghan made it all about herself yet again, Meghan revealed how she likes to show up for people, with this gesture extending over to her business as ever. She also talked about how she always imagined having her kid on her hip doing speeches, and how her circumstances changed that direction. They discussed the struggle of balancing their parenting duties with growing their business. We just found out Meghan has a nanny. Well, are we really supposed to be able to relate to this woman?
She
Who
didn't
also,
mean
I think
to tell
Doria
us
Ragland
that.
almost lives with them full time as well. She has plenty of help. I'm sorry, but you don't fit in this category of like boss girl, working mom who's about to pull her hair out, when you've got plenty of people to help you juggle it all.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't believe there's only one nanny. There are multiple nannies. I think there are multiple handlers. The household staff is vast, I believe. You know, what's also really interesting about, the show is so boring to listen to, and the only thing that is remotely like interesting are these little tells that Meghan gives about what a freaking, my opinion, malignant narcissist she is. She tells us that she has known this woman since they were both sort of struggling in their respective industries, and was introduced to her at age like 23 or 24. This woman came over to help her figure out how to dress. If she's any good at it, none of the lessons stuck, because we just keep looking at Meghan in these like billion pants the hems are dragging all over the place, okay? And the clothes are wrinkled and whatever. And so she says, so Cassie, and then Cassie goes, you know, it's so funny, Meghan, you know, shades of, you know, I'm Sussex now. It's so funny you call me Cassie, you know, because like the only people in my life who call me that are my closest family members. So it's a little cut. It's a little like you're assuming a familiarity with me that you don't have and hasn't been earned, right? And then Meghan goes, oh, well, I just love that I'm one of the people who can call you that because, you know, I mean, we've known each other for so long. And then it comes out that Meghan knew none of this woman's backstory.
Yeah.
At all.
She's like, oh, I didn't know any of that. You didn't know because you didn't ask her one single freaking question about herself because you only are interested in people to the extent that they can redound to your benefit in some way. You know, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Do you think that this will last? I mean, I'm not disparaging Lemonada Media, but it's not like Spotify where the return on investment is so important, having cut them such a significant check or original deal. I think Lemonada is kind of like a go with the flow kind of place, and the name association in their mind benefits them. I feel like they might, as long as she's not difficult, and we know she was at Spotify, calling in, demanding changes, you know, at the very last minute, them having to pull the episode, re-upload it, 17 freaking producers for one show. Do you think that as long as she's not difficult, Lemonada will allow her to kick this can? Because I'm with you. I think that the content is almost painful. There's nothing enjoyable when it comes to Confessions of a Female Founder.
No.
I don't believe she's friends with any of these people in real life because she's so awkward in
No,
the way
she's
she
not.
communicates. So you don't get that. Like people message me all the time. They say they can tell that we love each other. We do.
Yeah.
We're comfortable with each other. We're not frigid, you know?
Right.
I just don't know if there's any value in this from a PR perspective. I'm sure Lemonada's like, oh, it's brand recognition for us. But it just seems like such a waste.
God, what I would give to see those numbers. Like what I would give to see the analytics, because you know they can tell down to the second how engaged an audience is when they're tuning out, when they're coming back. Like I would kill. And this is why I've ceased to feel sorry anymore for anybody who gets in business with these two. You know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know it. So if you take a hit, it's on you. Okay. Now the problem with, you know, I'm always diagnosing Meghan, like, but she's sort of she's just like one of those patients. There was this famous book written in the 40s called The Mask of Sanity. And it was by a doctor who kind of figured out there's this portion of the population that is psychopathic and they cannot be treated. They're resistant to any kind of treatment. And I view Meghan as kind of just completely treatment resistant on any level, right? There's no amount of advice she will take. There's no amount of scolding that will humble her. There's no lesson she will learn that will cause her to course correct, nothing. But I think the foundational sediment of her problem is that she has zero sense of humor. Zero. And if you don't have a sense of humor,
she's got no sense of humor.
To latch on to,
No, she doesn't.
relate to you about.
No,
You
never
can't
mind
take
sense
yourself,
of
you take
humor.
yourself so seriously.
Yeah,
Why do you
she's
take
not
yourself so seriously? You're
relatable.
on
She
the spot for
doesn't
a
have
nanosecond. Enjoy.
no sense of humor.
She can't. And I think that is her fun. And so when she's doing these things like, oh, I was just looking at
Yeah, it's not funny.
report cards. Or oh, that's so funny.
You should put Rod on.
Like it's all fake. It's real.
I think you're the first person I've ever heard say that about how she has no sense of humor and how detrimental that is truly, because we all talk about authenticity and that is at, you know, of course at the core. Yes, but you know, have laugh at something sincere, laugh at something genuine. Prince Harry used to. And, you know, there's the story of them going on the shooting weekend and her scolding him and his friends because she didn't like the jokes that they were telling. And, you know, he hasn't hung out with a lot of those people since then because she was so horrified by their sense of humor and the way that they engaged with each other, which is sad for him. And we could see that when he was randomly knocking on doors that he feels so deflated. But it's almost, I said for a couple of years, these two need to adopt self-deprecation and people might tolerate them a little bit better. But I think it's too late in the game now. I think if we saw that
it's
now,
too
we'd be
late.
like, oh,
Way
God,
too late.
Stop crying. You gave the example of the bridge, London Bridge, and Meghan just like careening into it. Like, I'm shoving myself on you. I'm not going to stop. And that's kind of how it is now. Even if they tried to go the self-deprecation route and like make a joke out of it all, we'd be like, could you just stop? We just need some air. You guys are, I feel a restraining order coming on me against you. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So by the way, Kinsey, when I saw that footage this weekend, this was like breaking news here in New York.
Yeah.
A Mexican Navy ship with like a huge mast and all these billowing sails careened itself right into the Brooklyn Bridge. And it just, you saw the ship go, like it just fell apart. The bridge is the immovable object, but the ship just keeps on going. Like it's smashing and it keeps on going. And in my mind, I saw that. I said, Meghan Markle is the ship and the Brooklyn Bridge is the rest of us. Yes. And she's going to keep smashing into us with her repeated attempts to be successful and well-liked. And we are going to completely gray rock and resist it. You can smash up against our rock as much as you want. It's not happening, sister. Okay. Oh. And by the way, that anecdote about the hunting weekend, such a good hang that, Meghan, right? You know, like, oh, Harry's like, I'm bringing Meghan over. Jesus Christ. Did you ever hear the rumor, and you would be the person to know, that at some point in their courtship, like, he was getting second thoughts. He was really like, I don't know about this. He was beginning to put distance.
Yeah.
And there was a wedding.
I can show you the photos.
In Jamaica.
He was having second thoughts,
but she showed up anyway.
I did not hear that she wasn't invited, but she showed up anyway. But I heard that there was.
Wow. Gee,
this is a good bit. This is a good bit.
I didn't know that.
Have you seen the photos where she's screaming at him at that party where she turned up, gate crashed?
His friend got married and they'd split up and she turned up anyway.
Yeah, and there's photographs of him. She was yelling at the staff, screaming at some poor black man who was serving her drinks. And Harry stood up and he's clenching his fists and he's clenching his lips and she's just pointing away and looking vile. And Harry was really under stress. I don't know what she was saying to him. I think that's when he got the message. And then when they were going, she's grabbing him and kissing him, and his arms are right at his side. I've got the photos. I can send you the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like scratching her vagina. She likes to do.
Yeah, she's always scratching. Oh,
she's always having a scratch down there.
Yeah, she's a tran. I think she's a tran. I think she was born a boy and now she's a girl. And her father paid for it. And everyone knows. And it'll all come out one day. I mean, look at Mrs. Macron. I saw videos of Mrs. Macron last night. You know, she's walking around with bathers on with a great big penis.
She looks so bizarre. So bizarre.
She is. Man. Oh, that's a real freak show. That
was tension there.
It's interesting. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's worth looking up. Like, I hesitate to believe that there were second thoughts because she kept threatening him. I'm going to leave you if you don't. Valentine Lowe writes about this, I believe, in Courtiers, and he's got a new book coming out. And Valentine Lowe says that she threatened, when he initially announced their relationship, it was because she said, we do this and you tell everybody I'm with you. And remember, she's this little old girl on a cable show. Right. Like, I'm sure it is, and she's an influencer. I'm sure it's killing her that she can't tell the world that she bagged this guy, because she's been hustling her entire life for fame, and this she knows is going to take her to the next level. So word gets out that they get a call allegedly on like the night after Halloween or the night after a Halloween party, and allegedly she's like, we tell them, we say we're together, or I'm done, I don't want to hide anymore. Then she, according to Valentine Lowe, threatens to leave him if he doesn't come out and defend her from some of the coverage, the tabloid coverage she doesn't like in the UK. And I remember having to cover this in Sacramento as a local news anchor, being like, what? We had to cover that Harry was defending her from racism. And at the time, I don't even think that some of the examples
it wasn't racism
existed yet. I think that there were a couple of headlines, which I do not, straight out of Compton. It was just stupid.
She's got a bad take on this.
There were a couple of instances
where
she threatened.
It's not accurate.
And a part of the reason why I don't believe that he had
It wasn't it. She was saying, "Oh, they're harassing me like they harassed Catherine and like they harassed your mother."
Fear of abandonment.
That's what she was saying.
She knew he was already struggling with because of his mom.
Right.
I think to do with racism.
So I don't know. I feel like he was always like, I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose her. I feel like we still
No. She was threatening him. She said she was pregnant.
Right. He's cut off his entire family of origin, and he's got these 2 kids and this new life, and she's running around town telling everybody how happy they are every 5 minutes. Excuse my language. But I think I'm very curious about the power dynamics, because I think in the early days they were shifting, and what told me that was the Netflix doc, the first version that those 2 did. And she's talking about how after that first date, it was just like they had to see each other all the time, and so it was always like flying.
They can't even work out when the first date was. No one can.
You've had 4 different versions.
Always them to London.
4 different versions of how they met.
She's working.
The whole thing's bullshit.
Wow. It's never H to Vancouver ever. What is it?
I think Kinley and
her apartment.
So she's the one who's really pursuing it, while embedding in his mind, like, I'm the reincarnation of your mother. You have to protect me. I'm going to be in
no.
And I think I think even her threats to leave him could have been a kind of, I'm going to beat you to it, right? I'm going to threaten. Now I'm going to put that fear in you. How do you like it? That's what I think. I don't, because his friends hate her.
No, they're missing the blackmail
And
dynamic.
William was like, don't slow this down. I mean, I'm sure Catherine was like, you might want to slow this down, and when everyone in your life who has been there since the beginning is
William said
strong,
slow down. Philip said slow down. You marry, you sleep with actresses, you don't marry them.
Maybe have a second thought or two once in a while.
I also think there's the Romeo and Juliet of it all, though. Like when you've got, because Earl Spencer stepped in because of Prince William's request. When you have everybody
Bit of
saying
truth
she's
there.
not right with you, you're like,
Harry's
but I love you,
willful.
and it almost makes you like more obsessed with the idea. But no, he's so stubborn to begin with. You talk about the power dynamics. There is something to be said. Like if this were a man that had taken a woman away from her entire family and she was isolated, we would be sitting back going like, is there any sort of emotional abuse happening here?
Yeah,
The
we
fact that
would be.
this girl has lost her entire life. If it was a princess who had lost her entire life and her standing in society. I mean, Prince Harry's a joke now, knocking on dumpster doors.
Yeah,
we would all
joke.
literally be concerned for this person. But the fact that it's Meghan that is the boss, it seems like we just are all sitting back going, okay. I mean, Harry's not a victim. I should say that. I think he's been so cruel to his family. He's no victim. But I also think that
the victim.
if the sexes were changed, I do think that people would
I
be
think we're the victim.
and because Meghan's the one in the driver's seat, people are like, oh, but she's so, she's basically a reality star. How much control can she have over him? He was a prince.
Right.
That's a good point. I think early on, I certainly felt like that. Like this is somebody who seems to be systematically, cutting all of his ties to anyone else and isolating him. And that's what, I'm not saying she is, but that's what abusers do. That's what they do. And I think the problem is though, that he is just as reprehensible and so deeply unlikable. We saw the real Harry. He's entitled. He's full of grievances. He made his dying grandfather's last moments on this earth hell with that Oprah interview, slinging around those accusations of racism. He did it to his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth. He's done it to everybody, and he sold out his entire family. And then he just went on the BBC and said, basically in sum and substance, my family, my father, the king, and my brother, the future king, want me dead.
Wow.
But I'd love to get back in. Who cares about what his hell is like at home?
I don't want you dead. I want her dead.
Your own misery. If you're sad, I don't feel bad for you. You have it coming. You get what you give. Like this is it. This is life.
Did you see those headlines that about them hanging out with Brooklyn and Nicola Beckham? Harry and Meghan.
No, they think this is another win, Kinsey.
And like it's not. I mean, it's just like the reject patrol. But what killed me was yesterday seeing David Beckham with the King and Queen Camilla at the flower show.
Aww.
And it's just like, you're so, that's the A team. You're with grilled cheese Beckham. I want to be with Bennett like Beckham. Like I want to be with the real thing. Like, you got the Temu version.
Beckham.
Remember when David Beckham lined up like any other British citizen to view the Queen's casket?
Yes.
Hours on end.
Yes. 13 hours. 13 hours.
That's class. Like that's how you do it in the public eye. Now, I would bet that Meghan and Brooklyn were talking about, do you think what excellent chefs they are?
Yes.
I love Beckham because he's 10 years into this fledgling career as a chef. Like they still call him like the aspiring chef. He was an aspiring photographer for a while, an aspiring DJ. It's like these celeb you spawn who are just casting about. They have no talent, but they want to be known for something in a glamour field.
But this is exactly what we're talking about with Chrissy. Like when you team up with somebody that's known for something that's not positive, it only makes it only makes us hyper aware that you're both flailing. Like you two are both bullies. Brooklyn is the lost Nepo baby with Prince Harry, the lost Nepo baby. When you team up with somebody, you want to team up with somebody that's doing better than you. So people assume you're on the up and up. You don't want to team up with somebody that's also failing miserably, because then we all sit back and go, oh, you guys have that in common. And that I'm not very impressed with that,
Mm-hmm. One of my mother's favorite sayings used to be water seeks its own level, which is basically what you're saying. Like if you want to be like a happy, successful person, you seek out those people and you learn from them and you grow and all of that. If you're healthy, I think. And if you're a very unwell, sick person, as I think the Sussexes are, you're just basically seeking out and attracting, like attracts like. And not for nothing, but Nicola Peltz, whose father is a billionaire, is being accused of the same thing, of separating Brooklyn from his very famous, very successful family, which was otherwise He got them
Wow.
the branding that the
Another
Beckhams are
woman.
extremely close, you know, and that they really love they do seem to really love their kids. And, you know, I just, so why they think this is like a power summit for the agents, like it's delusional.
All right. So Ryan Reynolds appeared on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. That's Conan's podcast, where they playfully, says the New York Post, poked fun at Meghan Markle for being a middleman for jars of jam. Now, Ryan has been pretty open about his strained relationship with his parents, but especially his father, like how his father always made him feel not good enough, and how he just, even today with his father gone, he always just feels like his father's disappointed in him. And now Ryan says that he thought his dad worked for the CIA. He was a food broker, but it turns out it just meant he was a middleman for jars of jam. Conan O'Brien cracks up and says, what? He works for Meghan Markle? And then he says, tiny jams, harvestable jams made from the oils of Montecito. And Ryan Reynolds says, if Jumbo Reynolds wasn't dead, I'd say he is Meghan Markle. And then Conan O'Brien jokes, many people have likened the two. We talk so much about Meghan shoving herself down our throats. Unfortunately, I used to like Ryan Reynolds. Unfortunately, this Justin Baldoni thing has unraveled that. But it does say a lot that he's almost leaning into poking fun at Meghan Markle. They were just on the Time 100 Summit stage, you know, on the same day. He's got to know he's in the same category along with Blake and Harry and Meghan at this point in time when it comes to the public sympathy for them and any sort of public interest. Does it say anything to you that he allowed Conan to go there?
You should pause it, Paula, and comment.
Well, first of all, I didn't.
Who?
You should pause it, and you should comment.
Sorry.
You're hearing it for the first time.
I am. Now, Reynolds is the guy that is married to Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Blake Lively is going through a situation with that gentleman that she acted with.
Yeah, Justin Baldoni.
Yeah. So the trial hasn't started yet.
But her career is tanking over it.
So what about Reynolds? What about her husband?
Well, they're all suffering really because of this.
Suffering. They should shut up and be quiet, but they're being stupid and taking it to the court. And Baldoni's got all the receipts, and I remember him actually reading out a text that she said that she said, "Come over and run lines. I'm pumping." Meant she was breast pumping, and he kept that text. And then she said he was an animal. He came to her trailer when she was pumping, and he was obsessed with her breast. Now that's just a complete bullshit. She just made that up because he has a text. He kept every text that she said. She's going to go down. She's so stupid. She should never have taken it this far.
No, I think she was in love with him and he turned her down and she couldn't handle it.
Yes, hell hath no fury like a woman spurned. He didn't want anything to do with her. He didn't find her attractive or anything.
And she was married already.
Yeah, she said something like, I'll go down on you and I don't use my teeth.
What?
Like, like a blow, like going to give him like a blow
texts
job.
were full of sexual innuendo.
And I don't use my teeth. You give that to you're a married woman and you're going to send that to a married man, and then you're going to take him to court that he was sexually harassing you. Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? It was a text.
I saw it in a newspaper, I think. Yeah, but she said like, I don't think she said I'll give you a blowjob, but I can do something, and I don't use my teeth.
Oh.
She insinuated like she was going to give him a blowjob, and she doesn't use her teeth.
Oh wow.
And then she took him to court because he was sexually harassing her. Like seriously.
Yeah. He can just play every text he ever sent, and she'll just look so foolish.
Yeah.
She does.
Everyone says she should just drop it and go away because she's going to ruin it. She's ruining her career, and she's dragging her husband down at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think she can stop it. She has tried to stop it.
Together that long, Reynolds. I see them getting a divorce.
Yeah.
They've got 4 children.
SCJ.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think Blake's very bright.
She has tried to stop it, but they won't let her because she's accused somebody of doing something pretty bad. You can't just take it back. She's ruined Justin Baldoni's life, made him out to be this terrible person. You can't just take it back.
Right.
You've got to go forward in the court case. No, you've got to go. You've started the court case. You've got to go through with it now. If you're found that you've lied and you've brought this case fraudulently, then you've got to go down.
Yep.
You've got to pay the consequences of that. You've destroyed someone's life. You've got to pay the consequences.
Yeah, and it sounds like she's in some trouble.
Yeah.
So she probably won't do time, but she probably could get fined.
She's another Amber Heard.
Yeah, she'll have to pay him money,
Some money,
settlement or reparations or something.
Okay.
Put Paula on. I want to hear Paula on Atwood. Although she's talking about Diddy, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think so.
God, I'm sick of that Diddy crap.
On there earlier.
Why is everyone going on about Diddy? It's a distraction. What are we supposed to be really looking at?
It makes me so angry, Paula, when she said about Kathy, why didn't she leave? She said about Kathy, why didn't she leave? And Paula's been going on for years that she was a battered woman. Yeah, she was talking about on with Lionel Nation, why didn't she leave? And she said to Lionel Nation,
that's the same reason you didn't leave when you were in an abusive relationship.
What I said. That's exactly what I said. I said, you've been saying for years, my husband used to beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I left. Yeah, but how long did you stay with him? How long did you stay with him before you left?
Exactly.
And she makes it out like she used to get beaten up all the time. Well, you didn't leave for years. Same thing as Cassie. But
exactly.
Paula, she made herself out to be the hero of her story in her battering case, but she made Cassie out to be the villain in hers. You can't have it both ways.
No. Same. You were beat. She was beat. Same.
Yeah. You're not the hero because you left.
Right.
But she's the villain because she didn't leave. You know, she made me so angry.
That's hypocritical.
It is.
I didn't like that. Yeah. I'm going to send her a text.
She's doing a live now. She's still doing a live.
Yeah, she's got 1,000 people and only got 15. What's up, guys?
Who's got a live?
Paula M. She's got one of the behavior. She's got one of the behavior panels on there. Scott Rouse. He's one of the behavior panel. She's got one of him on.
Is this on Atwood or is this on Paula?
No, she's come off Atwood and she's gone on to her own channel. She's got a live with one of the behavior panels. I love the behavior panels. She's got one of them on.
Yeah, I think she's got a gentleman on there.
Yeah.
I'll put her on. That'd be good. We can. Or can we? Oh no, we can't intervene. We can't comment, can we?
Yeah, we can, but I'm getting tired, guys.
Okay, it's been 2 hours. You've been on
for a couple of hours.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Well, you go and I'll go and listen to Paula and tell you what she says.
Okay, sounds good. And tell her I want to get on with Ron and her.
I'll send you the photos of. I'll send you the photos of the gate crashed wedding.
Oh, that'd be great because I can use that as I've been using some of your clips as thumbnails. So
yeah, well, good. That's why I send them to you.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. We had about 15 people today, not very many, not kind of concerned about my numbers. Not sure what I'm doing wrong.
You've got to be more sensational. You've got to talk more.
Some days you're going to have a lot. Some days you're not going to have a lot. That's okay.
That's what happened, Dictator. Like
some days you're going to have a lot. Some days you're not. That's okay.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Because that's what I kind of feel like today. Just it is what it is.
Yeah, you just
Okay,
got
I'm going to
different.
go listen to Paula. I'll
You've just
okay,
got
I'm going to
different.
go listen to Paula. I'll see you later. I'll
Bye
send you
then.
the photos. Okay, bye, Dictator. Bye, Paula.
Bye, Paula. Bye. Tisha, I sent you an email a couple of days ago. I don't know if you saw it.
Let me check it.
It's just called. It's called. When you said, I saw one of your chats, and you said you want to come over for the coronation. The subject is the coronation.
Oh, okay.
And I just said to you, if you ever do come over, drop me an email and I'll come with you to the coronation.
Okay. You'll go with me to the coronation?
Yeah.
And help me out?
Yeah. But I sent you an email saying the coronation. Yeah, Lizzie, I'm the same with you with Paula M. She just exaggerates. I don't really like her.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely coming over.
Yeah. Give me a shout, I'll come with you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a prepare and everything and get everything together. And I think I'm coming by myself.
That's all right. I'll look after you. I'll look after you. I'll look after you.
You're a sweetheart. Thank you, Dictator, because I will need some help. I will need some help. And probably finding a really nice place to stay and then maybe close by you or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Go eat and all that.
Yeah. We can get some of the other England the other UK people to come down, make a little.
Yes, I would love that so much. Maybe we can do like a meet and greet.
Yeah, that'd be lovely with everybody.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming. I'm coming. So thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me today. Thank you, Dictator. You're such an inspiration. I really do appreciate you coming up on my panel. Really,
That's okay.
For me. Thank you, SCJ, for being a wonderful mod and all the mods. Kimura, thank you for being a mod. You know, Kimura has her own channel. Go check that out. And I want to thank everybody. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, members, for being a member. Ziggy Lee, Sunflower, Chick with the Crown. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed today. I may come back tonight. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We will definitely see if I will be back.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, love. Okay, I can't get out.
I'm trying to get the button. Have I got the button? Come on.
We got this. Bye-bye, guys.